Welcome to our 2023 CCX Sports Hall of Fame special. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. Today we welcome 4 new members to the Hall of Fame. We started in 2004. This year's class represent football, baseball, hockey, basketball, soccer, and gymnastics.
Let's get it started with the youngest member of this year's class, a two-sport standout from Maple Grove.
He was one of the best all-around athletes to come out of Maple Grove High School. We welcome 2016 Crimson graduate Isaac Collins into the CCX Sports Hall of Fame. Collins started playing varsity baseball at Maple Grove in 8th grade, just a couple of years removed from his first appearance on our channel as a member of the Osseo Maple Grove Storm baseball team that won the 11-year-old state title.
It was just really cool.
His older brother Roman, pictured here, was the first Collins standout at Maple Grove. Roman graduated in 2012, 4 years before Isaac, and also excelled in both baseball and football. He was drafted by the Kansas City Royals in 2015.
Having my older brother and seeing him, go through it with football, baseball, I always had something to look forward to. And I really looked up to those older guys. And when it was just my chance, I just really, took advantage of it and had fun with it.
In addition to baseball, Isaac played 3 years of varsity football at Maple Grove, where he became one of the top running backs and defensive backs in school history.
Honestly, his best attribute was he was a versatile athlete for us, and he was a kid that we counted on for all aspects of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. He had the ability to put a foot in the ground and go. And then defensively, he had great instincts, and he could fly around and make plays.
In his senior year, Collins rushed for 1,800 yards and 22 touchdowns, both still in the top 3 for a single season in program history, as are his career totals for rushing yards, attempts, and touchdowns. He's 7th all-time in tackles, and was a big weapon on special teams as a return man. But baseball was Isaac's #1 sport. A 2-time all-section player, his senior year was remarkable. He hit .482 with the school's single-season record 5 triples and leading the Crimson to a section title.
Yeah, that was nice to get to the state tournament. I wanted to at least get to the state tournament once for baseball, and I ended up doing that my senior year. So
Collins was All-State and a Mr. Baseball finalist, and after high school played 3 seasons at Creighton University in Omaha. He was a first-team All-Big East player as a junior, helping the Blue Jays reach the College World Series.
It was really fun. I have some of my best friends that I've met are from college.
He then declared for the Major League Baseball draft and was selected in the 9th round by the Colorado Rockies. Now with the Milwaukee Brewers organization, Isaac's played in several cities and leagues through the years, including briefly earlier this season for Nashville, the Brewers Class AAA team who played a series in St. Paul, which is where we caught up with him, and where 2 of his high school coaches, Adam Spurl and Matt Lombardi, came to watch him play.
It was awesome. It means a lot. I told them, I was like, hey, I wouldn't be here without you guys. So, they've helped me grow as a person, as a player, and I've been able to handle this whole, professional game because of them. So.
Now playing for the Biloxi Shuckers in the Class AA Southern League.
It's Collins' 4th of the year and a
The infielder-outfielder knows that his versatility and perseverance is what will keep him in the game, with the dream of one day reaching the big leagues.
Whatever I got to do to get to the next level, being a switch hitter, being able to run. If I can play infield and outfield, got to give your coach no excuse not to put you in the lineup, really. A lot of ups and downs, that's for sure. But that's the game. It rewards those that, stick with it, stick to the process. That's kind of the biggest thing. Once you get to this level, it's really easy to get caught up in batting average and hits and all that, but if you just do what you're supposed to do each and every day, eventually the game will reward you.
Isaac is a very dependable kid and just very headstrong and has the mental capacity to take baseball on, because baseball is a tough sport, just in knowing that you're only going to succeed 3 out of every 10 times, and he's consistent.
Wherever he is in the country, Isaac Collins says he still tracks his Maple Grove Crimson, takes a lot of pride in his time spent there.
100%. When you put in that much effort and work into a team like that for football and for baseball, you can't help but, you just have a lot of pride for stuff that you put a lot of work into. Maple Grove, they just won the state title in football. I followed along with this season, and I guarantee those kids that won the state title this year, they're going to be the same way 8-10 years from now.
And Jay also played basketball, was a varsity starter, but then gave that up for a time to concentrate on baseball during the winter months.
And what a great player in his two main sports. Really fun to watch. And as you mentioned, his brother Roman was also very good. Still to come on our Hall of Fame special, meet a hockey standout who has starred on the world stage and excelled at soccer too. Welcome back to our CCX Sports Hall of Fame special. Our next inductee has traveled the world playing hockey, but she's still as humble and down to earth as ever.
She's one of the area's best ever hockey players and excelled in multiple sports. We welcome Plymouth native and 2014 Benilde-St. Margaret's graduate KellyPanic to our CCX Sports Hall of Fame. For two-time Olympian Pannek, the hockey bug bit early.
But I was probably 4 years old. We had an unfinished basement, so I'd always be down in the basement rollerblading around, and I guess I just asked my dad to play. Yeah, I don't know if it was an instant success, but I was definitely hooked from the get-go.
Kelly played boys hockey as a youth player in the Armstrong-Cooper Association.
I mean, I think it was huge, just from the standpoint of development, for one thing. I think especially then, now it's so much better for girls. There's just so many more opportunities, so many more training opportunities, playing opportunities, all those things against quality players. But back when I was growing up, and me and my teammates talk about this a lot, like we just didn't have the same, it wasn't at the same level. Kind of up to you to you're trying to match their speed, right?
Pannek is currently co-head coach of the Benilde-St. Margaret's girls hockey team with Kevin Gray, who coached her as a youth player and now works side by side with her.
I've had a front row seat, been very fortunate for that. I remember being on the ice with her as a mite and squirt, and then watching her grow and progress as a player. And through high school, obviously the Gophers, and now winning gold medals at the Olympics and World Championships. So yeah, it's been amazing watching her grow as a player and a person. None of the girls question her. I mean, they're around her. It's anything she says is like gold. I remember years ago talking to Brad Frost once, and he was asking about Kelly as well. And the question that always sticks out to me is he asked me, even when she was young, was she playing chess and everybody else was playing checkers? And I just laugh, because it's kind of what it is, and watching her coach now too.
Kelly attended Heritage Christian Academy through 8th grade and made the transition to playing girls hockey for one season in their co-op program.
Ended up co-oping with Cooper High School, and like this, like that experience with Cooper was one of the best experiences for me, because it put a lot into perspective in my hockey career and in my sports career in general. Like, it was probably the first time where I was on a team that wasn't very good. Up until then, whether it was soccer or hockey, like I was always on like good teams or competitive teams. And now I'm going into a program where there was a lot of girls that were trying hockey for like the first or second time.
For high school, hockey and soccer standout Pannek went to Benilde-St. Margaret's. And soccer wasn't just a secondary sport. She was Class A Ms. Soccer winner and helped the Red Knights win 2 state titles.
Probably through 8th or 9th grade, like I was soccer. I think high school soccer is the best season, like the best sport. Fall is the best season. It's short, it's fun, like our team had great success. Again, like in terms of my like sports career, I still put like the high school soccer experience like way up there.
In hockey, Pannek and the Red Knights were Class AA runner-up in her senior season. She was a 3-time All-State pick and is the school's career scoring leader. It was a great time in her life.
I can't say enough about my time at Benilde in general, like that school. Obviously, I've chosen to be a part of it again. I still have like my high school best friends. They still keep me humble. They're the first ones to, knock me down when they're like, you gotta calm down over there.
From there, Pannek went to the University of Minnesota, helping the Gophers to back-to-back national titles in 2015 and 16.
Obviously, like the success we had on the ice was incredible. Like first 2 years started off strong with some national championships, which was, that's something that I always like really wanted to do. Like I remember growing up, like that was a big goal of mine, is like I want to win a national championship.
In the middle of her college career, Kelly made the first of 2 U.S. Olympic teams, helping Team USA to a gold medal in 2018 and later a silver medal in 2022.
I always grew up watching both the Summer and the Winter Olympics, and I don't remember like as a kid ever being like, I want to play in the Olympics. It's like insane to think like I have a gold medal sitting somewhere in my house that is in a sock drawer basically. Like it's not even on display, it just sits there.
Pannek is still active as a player professionally and hopes to skate in another Olympics in 2026. She's not ready to retire as a player just yet, but knows she's closer to the end of her career than the start. When looking back at a career that we first covered when Kelly was 10 years old at USA Cup Soccer, it's the journey with family by her side that stands out the most for KellyPanic.
Sports have just been the biggest part of my life, in the best way. Like they've given me opportunities to travel the world, to meet incredible people, to impact a lot of people's life, and like through this, it's like my family that's been there through everything. I'm gonna get like emotional, so when my parents see this, they'll be happy. But I'd have my parents, my siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, like in the stands, and like they're so proud of my career that like it makes me more proud of it.
John, Kelly's been in the Olympics, but she still really fondly remembers seeing herself on our channel for the first time when she was a young soccer player too.
And we're lucky enough to still get to work with her as a high school coach now. Great to see her story again. Still ahead on the show, we meet one of the area's best ever high school gymnasts as our Hall of Fame special continues. We travel back into the 1990s for the next member of the CCX Sports Hall of Fame class of 2023. An athlete who, thanks to an injury, had the chance to shine at her high school.
She is one of the most accomplished gymnasts in her high school's history. We welcome 1994 Park Center graduate Molly Umland into the CCX Sports Hall of Fame. After years in club gymnastics, Molly needed surgery in 1992 for a serious elbow injury sustained from overuse. But she still wanted to compete, so she joined the less intense world of high school gymnastics before her junior year.
I loved club gymnastics. I loved all the friends I made there, but I barely got to see any of my high school friends. So at least now, I was able to do high school gymnastics, but then all my friends played soccer. So I tried playing soccer one year with them. I played golf. So I kind of learned some new sports as well.
In her 2 years at Park Center, she qualified out of Region 5AA as an all-arounder twice, winning all 4 events in the region final as a senior. Her best event, uneven bars, where 30 seasons later, she still holds the school record with a score of 9.8.
She swung bars like all the good guys I had when I coached boys. And I had state champs and number 2, 3s, and 4s on bars. She just had that push in the shoulders where you lock out and she could go. We would actually have conversations while she was spinning.
Molly placed in the top 5 on bars at the state meet in both years and loved the experience.
A lot of the people that I competed against in club had also started and went high school at the same time. So anytime we'd go to a meet, I'd always see one of my club friends. I know the competition, the state competition was really exciting too. So.
The school's Athena Award winner in 1994, Molly went from Park Center to the University of Minnesota, where she competed 4 years for the Gophers.
I always wanted to be a Gopher. So that was something I always wanted to do. My club coaches growing up, Gopher and Katisa Deli, were also the U of M coaches. And so I got to experience a lot of the U meets when I was little. I'd go and, flash the scores at all the meets and, got to meet a lot of the gymnasts there. And it was just something that I always wanted to do.
As a senior, Umland and the Gophers won the Big Ten championships.
On bars, I scored a 9.9 on my bar routine, and I'd never scored a 9.9 before, and it was at Big Tens, and it was the year we won, and it was really exciting. It was a really fun meet.
After graduating with a degree in education, Molly helped coach with the Gophers for a couple of years before landing the head coaching job at Maple Grove High School. During her time there, the Crimson won 3 section titles and placed several girls at state.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a range of girls that were just kind of starting and never done gymnastics to girls that were coming out of club, and I knew that experience. And all my coaches, I was really lucky for all of them just to really love the sport and be really positive about the sport.
But after 8 years, it was time to give up coaching.
My husband and I were just getting married and ready to have kids, and I just kind of ending with gymnastics, and I kind of want to start a new part of my life. And I knew that I couldn't, teach all day long, coach all night long, come home at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and be successful in both areas.
Molly continued to teach full-time until 2015, and she experienced the health scare of her life.
When I was 39, I had a stroke. Didn't really know. Brandon, my husband, wasn't home, so it was just the kids and I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong, and I was pretty calm. But yeah, luckily he came home, figured something was wrong, so called the ambulance and ended up with some aphasia. So sometimes my words kind of get a little messed up, or my numbers will get mixed up. But yeah, I was very lucky to come out with it the way that I did. I had a year and a half, I think, of speech therapy.
She's pushed on from that, still careful, as she says, to eat right and exercise and avoid certain sensory experiences. Molly is out of the classroom and is now the International Baccalaureate Coordinator at Lakeview Elementary School in Robbinsdale, where she taught. Married with 2 children, Molly now spends much of her free time with family, watching her own kids play sports, be it basketball, soccer, or baseball, and enjoying time on the road.
We take a lot of trips. We try to camp or go different places. Our goal as a family is to hit every national park. So any trip we can take, we try to find what national park is there and do some hiking and exploring.
Molly Umland's gymnastics career with the Gophers is now 25 years in the past. But those who watched her there and at Park Center know they saw a talented athlete and a fierce competitor.
You can't ask for much better than a kid. The most driven girls I've ever had.
And Jay, one other thing that Bruce Smith mentioned that he didn't use in the story is that Molly was a really good coach. Yes, she had talent there at Maple Grove, but really knew how to teach the sport well to her girls.
And that's something that not every athlete can do, to translate that into coaching. And obviously we always enjoyed talking to Molly when she was an athlete and then also while she was coaching. Well, straight ahead, another former star athlete who is also sharing his knowledge as a coach. Our 4th Hall of Famer is up next. Our final new Hall of Fame member comes from a school with a long history of athletic success, and he's still very much involved in sports as a college coach. He was a star in 2 high-profile sports in a great era at his school. 2013 Osseo graduate Bridge Tusler joins our CCX Sports Hall of Fame.
Truly amazed, really blessed. To be honest, it's an honor. I still think about back in the day playing and being able to even just almost hang out with you guys during these conversations. And so, yeah, it's kind of all surreal a little bit, but a truly exciting time.
And here comes Tusler has loads of accomplishments in both football and basketball. His senior football season is one of the most impressive in the past 25 years in the area. Primarily a running back, the versatile Tusler was also a great receiver, returner, and D-back. He had 21 touchdowns in all, rushing for nearly 1,200 yards and also intercepting 8 passes. That earned him a slew of awards, including Mr. Football, AP Player of the Year, and Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year.
It was a blessing for sure. I wouldn't have done it without this cliche, but it's not for me. Without the team, players, the coaches, I felt like Lampker set me up a lot to be very successful. But at the same time, it wasn't in jeopardy to our team.
Bridge was also a great basketball player, twice earning all-area status on Channel 12, as CCX was then known. And in his junior season, he helped Osseo to a thrilling state tournament run that ended in him assisting on a buzzer beater for teammate Ian Tyson that won the Orioles the Class 4A title.
We needed a bucket. We called a timeout. Time was winding down. We ran a play. Credit Lakeville North. They changed the defense, but the ball was in Bridges' hands, and he adapted, adjusted, and made the right decision by hitting Ian Tyson in the corner. Next thing you know, Osseo was a state champion.
That was very exciting. Yeah, probably one of the most memorable moments I have ever in my life. I remember sometime in around Christmas time, I was frustrated. I think Tyson was coaching me hard. I really wasn't enjoying it that much. I felt like I could never do something right. And then we started having a lot of success, and we got into the state tournament, we won. And I remember seeing Tyson 3-4 days later, and he was like, "Isn't that fun?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is what hard work feels like."
While his physical talents were plain to see, others remember his presence more than his skill.
His Bridge was such a leader in the hallways, in the classroom, on the field, on the court. Anywhere that he stepped, people just followed him. Just to watch the way he did things on and off the field was really cool to see, and just see the things that he brought to our school besides athleticism.
And he's not the fastest, he's not the best shooter, he's not the tallest, but he had that grit. And with that, that's that football side of him that I thought he brought over to the basketball side, is he didn't back down to anybody. So Bridge, not only was he that leader, but he was that ultimate warrior.
After heading to South Dakota State for a year to play football, Tusler decided it wasn't for him and transferred back to his home area to play football and basketball at Bethel.
I kind of said no to a lot of any looks about basketball. I just thought I'm better at football, this is going to be my ticket. And so I got to experience getting hit what it was like right away as an 18-year-old going against 22-year-olds, and I'll be honest, it wasn't really for me. I was going to open gyms a lot for basketball. I could just tell I was missing that part.
After college, Bridge went into coaching at the high school and then college level. He will start his second year as head women's basketball coach at Crown College.
I had a great year last year. A lot of learning curves, a lot of things to learn still. But it's really fun to be college head coach, to be at a program. But again, the community here is pretty special. People don't realize I really think it's Minnesota's best kept secret.
Tusler followed in the footsteps of his mother Brandy as a basketball star at Osseo and has a lot of pride in his old school. So the fact that he is now married to a former Maple Grove basketball standout, the former Angie Davison, made for some interesting debate.
I can't speak for her parents, I can speak for my mom. When I said I'm dating Angie Davison, my mom's like, no way, kind of thing, because I told my mom I wanted to marry her in 5th grade.
Bridge and Angie just had their second child and coached together in the Crossfire AAU program. And Angie will help out at Crown too. The transition from athlete to coach has been a pretty smooth one for Bridge Tusler, and he's happy to give back to a sport that brought him a lot of joy growing up.
What a great player, and it was great to catch up with Bridge again as well. That will do it for our Hall of Fame special. Congratulations to our 4 new Hall of Famers.
We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we enjoyed catching up with these great athletes and people. And special thanks to David Dobrin and our crew for their help putting this show together. Thank you for watching.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Our money, she's my purpose. And like being a father in this world.